All right, guys, welcome to the Game of Thrones series finale review on the Current Era podcast. I'm your host, Julian, and I have three very special guests on the pod today to help me dissect this last episode and give our final thoughts on the series as a whole. I have Jacob Byers, Jake Byers Visuals, find him on Instagram and Twitter at Jake the Snake. He also has a business where he does video shoots, and he's like a really great videographer. So hit him up, Jake the Snake. Jake Byers Visuals, hit him up, let him do some shoots for you. Really great guy. Thanks for coming on the pod, man. I have Mondy. Mondy doesn't do any videography, but he's still a very cool and funny guy, so I keep him around. And of course, I have my brother Javar on the pod, as always. So we had a great time talking about the series finale, guys. This episode was split as far as what I thought about it and what they thought about it, which is something that you'll hear. And yeah, man, let's go ahead and get to the episode. I don't want to spend too much time talking. I do want to remind you guys, though, to remember to rate, like, and subscribe. So if you subscribe, the episodes will download automatically for you. Or you can just download the episodes individually, whichever you prefer. I do release content every Monday and every Friday. And yeah, thank you so much for listening, guys. Let's get to the episode. Alright, so welcome to another edition of the Current Era Pod, guys. This is the Game of Thrones finale. I have on three guests. I have my brother Javar, I have Mondy, I have my guy Jake. Guys, this was a hell of a finale, I thought, but I know I know that everybody's opinion differs.
Okay.
So, Jake, since you're new to the pod, I'll start with you, man. What's your overall impression of this episode?
So honestly, I thought that while I was watching it, I was enjoying it, but it was almost like I was mad at myself for enjoying some of the things that happened. But
Okay.
overall, I'm pretty satisfied. I'm fulfilled. I felt like they had a lot that they had to end off.
They did.
And I didn't think that there would be enough time, because several times I was like, is this the end?
Right.
I kept feeling like that, but I guess they were pacing through to allow time for it.
Sure.
Time to pass over. But overall, I was impressed. I liked it a lot.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Monty, what about you? I mean, okay, all right. I'm sorry, Javar. So, Javar, I know you're on Skype, but Monty's making the most stank face right now.
I'm not.
So go ahead,
You're
Monty.
disappointed?
No, yeah, honestly, yes, I was disappointed. If I could put it in one word, it'd be underwhelming.
Okay,
Yeah, and I'll elaborate as we continue.
okay. And Javar, what about you? Do you share similar thoughts to Monty?
So, for the season, I feel it's totally underwhelming. The season is underwhelming.
Okay.
No, I thought the episode was done well. I thought the episode was good for what it was. I just
Right.
didn't like the story in general and where it was going. But if this is the story and this is the direction it went to go, I thought they did a good job with it for sure. So I guess a
Yeah.
mix between Jake and Monty. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, I like I said, I mean, I thought it was a good episode. I mean, and this is a guy who didn't like the last three episodes that they showed. So, I mean, I wasn't a huge fan of some of the creative decisions that they chose to make in those three episodes. And this one, I guess kind of like you, I accepted that this is where the story was. This is the direction that they decided to go. And I mean, I dealt with the ending. I was fine with it. But I mean, it is what it is. It's over now after all these years. How long has Game of Thrones been on the air?
Since
10 years.
2010
It's
or
been-
2009.
Yeah.
It's been 10 years.
Wow.
Yeah, actually, I want to say it was 2009 when the first season came out. Yeah.
My goodness. Yeah. Okay.
I've seen pictures of the cast from the first season, those throwback pictures,
Yeah,
and they
it's
look
crazy.
crazy compared to now.
Yeah, especially Brand and Arya.
Yeah.
They're like babies.
Yeah.
My goodness. But so I kind of want to go through the episode. I still don't know what the episode title is because they always try to hide it.
Yeah.
But this is the series finale of Game of Thrones. So it kind of opens up. You see the destruction of King's Landing, of what Daenerys, what she did in the previous episode. And you see, all the dead bodies. You see the babies and the moms. And it's so much destruction. And you see Tyrion, we see it from his point of view. He's just walking and taking it all in. And it was an interesting scene for me because, she made that choice, and they talk about it a lot in this episode as to whether it was right and wrong, but it's almost like she didn't know that she was killing women and children, she was just kind of blindly going about it. Did you feel that way, Monty, at all?
No, I felt like she was aware of what she was doing, and she knew the implications of what all that disaster would bring. But I think the show tried to convey that she's just over the edge.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like it did so in a very hastily manner, I guess. Like
Yeah.
it made her go from normal thinking to just crazy
In
mad
like 2
queen. And,
episodes.
like, yeah, I wasn't a fan of the progression of her, descent into madness. I feel like it felt too quick to me.
Okay.
And so I think a 10-episode season would have benefited her, true progression into a mad queen instead of a 6-episode season.
Okay.
But that's my opinion. So,
Yeah. Well, hey, that's what I'm here for. I'm
Yes,
here
yes,
to get
sir.
your opinion. Javar, do
Yes,
you have
sir.
similar feelings?
Yeah, I mean, again, that's pretty much how I feel about the season. But like I said earlier, I kind of just accepted that's where we are now. And like you were saying, it was a good scene, and she kind of justified killing all the innocents, but she kind of blamed Cersei for it. She's like, well,
Yeah.
Cersei told
Tried
them
to
to all
use it
come
against
into the
her.
gates and tried to use that, as basically meat shield. So I didn't care nothing about it. But how she did it, that doesn't add up because she was just paving through the streets like
Yeah.
just killing innocents who weren't doing anything to her. So
Yeah.
yeah, she clearly like just lost her mind and was trying to justify her actions by whatever her delusions.
Yeah. And Jake, since you weren't here, when we did the last pod,
Right.
how'd you feel about Danny being Mad Queen? Like,
I mean, like, I was disappointed in her. I wasn't disappointed in the decision.
really?
Yeah, but I was disappointed in her. I just felt like she was supposed to do better. I was one of those people, but then like revisiting like older episodes after that, it's like, well, and just people talking, quoting different quotes from different episodes saying that, she told us that this is what she was going to do,
yeah.
like
Fire and blood.
Yeah, fire and blood.
Very,
like
very early
That's
on.
how she was going to get it. And like overall, like how she was acting in the beginning, like you said, like it was almost like she didn't know that she was killing kids. It's like
Yeah.
it's like she made that decision to do it, and she just blocked everything else out. Like it's almost like when you argue with somebody and halfway through the argument you realize that you're wrong,
Yep.
but it's like I've already started
going with it.
arguing, so it's like, I gotta keep doing this.
Yeah.
Like, I just gotta keep doing this.
Yeah, no, I feel you. It's weird because I think Monty was one to point this out to me, but and Javar, you did the pod with us too, so I don't know why I just said that, but I remember when shut up. I remember when we were doing the original season 1 and season 2 review of this, Javar. We were talking about how in season 2, like that was like a lot of filler and. About Danny's storyline anyway, about her going into the House of the Undying and all that, and how that doesn't have any like real relevance. I mean, and now it does because we saw the like I think they did almost a shot for shot of like when she was in the castle, seeing the snow
vision,
or
right?
the ash
Yeah.
in there.
I remember thinking that I remember thinking that like, oh my gosh, like that might actually be ash, not
Yeah.
snow. Because at first I was a little bit upset about that. Not upset, but I was like, well, that's not they missed a point. They're not going to be able
Right.
to tie in because I was thinking like, oh, they killed the Night King and didn't even make it to King's Landing. But it's like, oh, that could have been ash.
Yeah.
So wait, I'm still confused about that. Was that ash or was that snow?
I mean,
I was gonna say it looked like snow because remember Drogon, he was like covered in snow
sleep.
and just got up.
Okay, I thought it was okay.
Yeah.
A mixture of both, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, to me, like it felt like in the last episode they showed a lot of the ash,
Yeah, exactly.
and then I guess in this episode it could have been snow, but then I said this to Monty, like since when does it snow at King's Landing?
Right.
Like I don't think it's ever snowed there.
Yeah.
But yeah,
It
whatever.
did like just a little bit when they were trying to signify that winter was coming or winter was here, basically. Like in the
Right.
end of
okay.
season 7, I want to say.
Oh, okay. I must have.
And that shot with Cersei like standing over the map of
Yeah.
King's Landing and the snow coming
Exactly.
down.
Oh, okay.
Thank
Jake,
you for
okay. So Danny, I'm sorry, I don't want to skip over this. So Grey Worm and John, they were annoying me the whole episode, and specifically Grey Worm. Who does he think he is?
Exactly.
Why is he looking at John like he's really about that life? Monty's over here like, John don't want them problems. Like what? Like
John doesn't want problems with Grey Worm in a one-on-one fight. I will defend that.
But he was in the wrong. I felt like
Wait, who's in the wrong?
Grey Worm.
Grey Worm.
How so?
But after she was dead, it's like you don't know. Well, the audience doesn't know either. We don't know like how that discussion went. But when he said that he knew that John stabbed her through the heart, and it's just like,
No.
Why did he do that?
As of right now, he's talking about when they first confronted John and Grey Worm first confronted each other when they
In the
were
beginning,
killing-
Oh yeah, true.
The Land Soldiers.
With
he's
the
following an order. I have
with
no
the
problem with
prisoners,
that.
yeah.
He's a loyal commander. Yeah, he's following orders.
John's the hero, and he teased him
See,
to stay in
you're
his life.
biased, you're
Anyway,
biased. I have no
so
problem with
Javar, my question to you is, because last time we spoke about the pod about Game of Thrones, anyway, you predicted a John and Grey Worm fight. Were you disappointed that didn't happen?
I mean, look, it seems like they were kind of rushing to get to points, so they were trying to minimize the
Same.
one-on-one battles as much as possible.
Yeah.
Like all these major characters that got killed without even a fight. The Night King, Cersei, Daenerys. Like it's just a quick stab or a little rock here and there. It's just you know, it's just been
Yeah.
quick and easy. So it
I'm
seems
glad they
like
showed their body.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
that's another thing I mentioned too. Like, wouldn't it be crazy if they were just down there, just like, hey, help?
Yeah.
I actually wonder if that was gonna happen. Yeah, if they were just like down there chilling, like, oh yeah, hey.
But it also made me think, like, well, how convenient. Like, if you guys would have been 10 yards to your left,
Yeah,
maybe
you'd have been
would've
okay,
survived.
right?
You'd have been all right.
Yeah, but no, I mean, I'm glad that Tyrion got that closure. And I'm glad that he was the one that went looking for them because I mean, he was the one that was going to make sense. I mean, and Peter Dinklage is awesome. We were talking about that earlier as far as actors on the show, but he's awesome. I thought he conveyed a lot of emotion in that scene as he should have. I mean, his brother and sister were killed.
Yo, when
but
he was walking up to Danny, did y'all think he was about to do something crazy?
yes,
I
I
mean,
did. I thought that he was going to try to stab her, but
right, or push
he
her
did.
down the stairs. I don't know. I was like, what you about to do?
Push her down the stairs. Yeah, it was interesting because I mean, when she was up there, she was making her speech about, in different languages, so nobody can understand her. I mean, well, John and Tyrion, but she was making her speeches about how we're gonna conquer the world. I'm just like,
Yeah.
pause.
Okay. So let me
Never-
turn that back around. Yeah. What do y'all think she was meaning by
What
that?
you mean? But she basically said that.
She said, "I want to liberate the world." Of course, that
means
implied
conquer.
She'd conquer it, but
Okay, yeah.
That was
To
her
me,
intention there,
Javar,
too.
thank you for the question, Javar. To me,
Sounds like a narc.
it seemed like she was trying to conquer the world. Yeah, I mean, she was like, we're gonna free everybody. It's like, what?
So what? I mean, everybody is supposedly bowing to her. Saying she's the queen. So what she's gonna do? Just go and kill every great house? Or like, what was her point? I don't.
I don't know. I mean,
understand.
I think at this point she was pretty much Mad Queen. Just burn them all.
no,
type.
because in the speech she mentioned that she was going to, go to Essos as well. Like she's like, it's not just a Westeros thing anymore. It's
Yeah,
like,
right. That's
it's a
what I'm saying. The
thing.
world. She
And
wants to
so,
conquer the
there's a
world.
lot of slaves in Essos that she planned on, freeing, I guess.
And
By any means necessary.
I guess to tie that back around, Tyrion basically was like, in her eyes, freeing and liberating. That means making these people bend the knee and call her
Right.
queen.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is he said that. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, is I don't know. Whatever.
I
But
never
yeah.
saw her go in that direction though. I never thought about that. I thought she truly was trying to be good and break the will and be a hero. So they threw me for a loop there.
Yeah, it happened
Really?
very quickly. Her turn.
Okay. Well, I mean, it happened very early on in the episode too. Like in the first 35, 40 minutes, like she got killed, and like the scene with the black, I was like, is it over?
Yeah.
Like I was like, what the heck? Like, is it
Yeah.
over? But yeah, I mean, Jake, I guess I'll start with you. We can go ahead and get right into it. Did you see? Well, you saw the spoilers, didn't you?
No, so like I read some spoilers on Reddit, but like I'm actually happy that they were wrong.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the
Okay.
ones
So
that I
did you
read.
were you surprised when John actually did what he did and killed Danny?
So I wasn't surprised because it was almost like telegraphed, like while she was explaining to him.
Mhm.
Like she's just like,
And-
yeah, we're gonna do this and we're gonna do that, and he's just like, yeah, sure.
Look, and he was carrying a dagger, which he normally doesn't do. So I was like,
I didn't even see the dagger. I
Yeah.
saw a long claw, but I
He
didn't
had
see the
on
dagger.
other side.
Yeah,
Oh, did
dagger
he?
on the other
Okay.
side, yeah.
Okay.
Attention.
See, I was just so enamored the fact that it was a great scene. Like right before that, I mean, something that she was working for the entire series. She finally got to see the Iron Throne. Like that's been her reason for living for these past 10 years or however long it's been in the Game
She
of
didn't
Thrones
even
world.
get to sit on it.
No, she didn't. She was
didn't.
about to, and
Yeah.
then here comes John.
Yeah.
So it was a good scene. Did that scene surprise you at all, Javar? That John actually killed Danny?
I didn't expect it to happen that soon, but it was pretty much building to that point where he felt like he had to act now. And then when I saw him with the dagger, I was like, okay. And then yeah, pretty much as they were hugging up and kissing and all that, I was like, yeah, he's about to do it right here. So I wasn't surprised at that point, no.
Mm.
And I thought they did it. I thought they executed it pretty well. And I liked how Drogon came. He sensed that his mom was in trouble or
Somehow.
or whatever. And
He just got powers. Like,
it's interesting that he didn't attack Jon, maybe because he's a Targaryen, or maybe.
yeah,
don't know.
that's a question I had too. That was kind of like
Poor writing. 'Cause
okay.
Why in the world would a dragon know to burn down the Iron Throne and what that symbolizes?
Yeah, you're right. It's
that
it's
makes
kind
no
of tricky
sense.
just as to like, well, okay, how smart is he? Like,
There's no
it's
way
like
he knew what
he's conveniently
Yeah,
smart.
there's no way he knew what the Iron Throne symbolized to everybody, and so I'm going to
Yeah.
burn this down to mark the ending of
Kings in
Yeah,
Westeros.
it's just
Even though
Poor writing.
Bron's the king, but yeah, I mean, but it was interesting though because I mean, even when John was walking in to go see Danny and you saw Drogon covered in all the snow, he was like, "Oh, it's you." He just like went back to sleep, and then yeah, I mean, after he kills him, I guess Drogon didn't see this, but he just doesn't retaliate. Like he burns like over his head or something. I'm just like, okay, but I guess I wouldn't have been satisfied with John going out like that. I mean, would you, Monty? Would you have been satisfied if he would have got killed right there?
Sure. Look, understand this though.
I thought maybe he would survive it.
I'm not satisfied with him being sentenced to the
Night's Watch,
but whatever. Yeah, we'll get to that.
Yeah, we will. Oh, we will. Yeah.
Also, I want it on record though. I'm Danny Hive. Okay, I support Daenerys. No, I might sound biased at times, and I understand that, but like the fact that she died doesn't really bother me. It just felt like how she died just felt so quick. Like I knew it had to happen early in the episode because they had to deal with the aftermath of all that.
Sure.
So I knew it had to happen early. But I like her descent into the Mad Queen and all that stuff. I just wish it took it felt more like natural. Because like I was talking to Jake about this on Twitter. It kind of mirrors Darth Vader's turn, Anakin into Darth Vader in Star Wars, and I love that. I just wish they handled it more properly.
Okay. And
even in Star Wars, it was kind of rushed too, Anakin's turn. But I like when a character like is so layered that they can go from completely good to quote unquote evil.
Yeah.
But I just didn't like how quickly it happened. Her turn to madness and all that. But the fact that she died, I knew it had to happen.
I mean, would you have been satisfied if somebody else killed her? Like, I mean, to me, like, I feel like John had to be the guy.
I get it. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I get why John had to do it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay.
Whatever.
Do y'all think it's any how did Grey Worm just not throw hands with John immediately? Like, I'm finding it hard to believe that they let him live.
Yeah.
I find it hard to let him live at all. Like, right?
Yeah, but to me, that's I don't know. I still don't really understand Grey Worm's power in this because he, like, even at the end of the episode when they were deciding who's going to be who, he was like, "We have an army ready to defend the city." I'm just like, bro.
Well, she named him like commander of all.
I mean,
all
but she
war
killed everybody, so it was just the Unsullied at that point, like the 100 Dothraki that were there. So
it was more than 100 Dothraki.
Okay, 200, but like, I mean, they would have got that work. Is my point. So I don't know, Javar. I think that. I think Grey Worm was overstepping, and maybe he knew that. That's why he took him prisoner. But whatever, Grey Worm should have died. That's just my opinion.
Wow, you hate Grey Worm?
If he's talking to John like he's about that life, yeah, he has to go.
Grey Worm is certainly about that life.
What is Grey Worm's role now? That's one. That's one they missed. That's what
they sailed out to North, right? Like just like Masande asked them to do to protect the people there because they can't protect themselves.
They're gonna go kill the masters there, I guess. Yeah, I don't want to see that interview. Whatever. So yeah, I mean, pretty much. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Javar.
I was gonna say, I wish they would have just like, yeah, we'll send John to the Night's Watch. Yeah, sure, whatever, and then let them sail off and just like, all right, come on, John.
Yeah. Because they were talking about like, if we don't do this, it's gonna start a war. Like with the Unsullied, like
right,
crush them. Like what? But everybody tired of fighting. They've been fighting so long. Blah blah blah. So whatever. Who cares? So I mean,
the Dothraki just out there just raping and pillaging. I don't know what.
Maybe I was going to say maybe they went with Arya, but that wouldn't have been a good look. So never mind. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, so pretty much after that scene, there's like a council and they're deciding who's going to be. Well, I guess they're deciding what they're going to do with Jon and Tyrion, and then that turns into who's going to rule over Westeros. And I wasn't. I mean, okay. So I read the spoiler for this for Bran.
Mm-hmm.
And when they picked him and the line he said, like, what did he say?
I teared up. You talking about when he was like, "Why do you think I came all this
way?"
way?
Yes,
yeah.
bro.
But I think it would have had the effect no matter who the character was because we've been with these characters for so long.
Definitely.
But it was like his whole story. It was just flashed before my eyes almost. It's like, oh my gosh, like so it's amazing.
You were actually satisfied with Bran being,
and that's what I meant by like I was almost mad at myself for enjoying it because it was like. I'm not supposed to like that because in my mind it's like, yeah, Tyrion should have done it or John at least, it's like somebody, but in the moment I enjoyed it. So maybe watching it again and again, maybe my feelings will change, but in the moment I enjoyed it for what it was.
What about you, Monty? Did you care? Okay, here we go. Go ahead, bro. Did you like that Bran gets to sit on the Iron Throne now?
I'm gonna say this.
I feel like wheelchair.
Yeah. I feel like the show is instead of trying to service the story correctly, I feel like it's more so just trying to go for the surprise factor at this point. Like, okay, this is what fans are expecting, so we're gonna go the opposite way. You know
but hold on, like, you were just talking about how like this show is built on subverting people's expectations, and we're supposed to enjoy that. But true. Now you just don't like it now.
No, because I feel like when it's not like their choices that they've made in this last episode in particular are not servicing the story. It's just complete surprise factor. Like, okay, this is gonna get them on their heels.
Okay.
And like I didn't like Bran being the king or whatever. It doesn't bother me. It just bothers me that it just feels like they were in the writers' room, like, okay, this gonna kill him right here. Bran gonna be the king. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I get what you're saying. Like you're basically assuming that they're trying to pick the most ridiculous thing just because it's Game of Thrones and they're built on surprises and stuff. Okay.
But Brandon Broken's a cool king name. I like that though.
I don't know why they were called. That's disrespectful to me.
Brandon Broken.
Yeah. I was like, bro,
He embraces
don't
it.
call me that.
I thought he was gonna get like an iced out crown, but he didn't.
Oh, like him, like a.
I thought Bran was gonna get, like, because he's a king, I thought he was gonna get maybe like a cool crown or something. But yeah, he didn't.
Yeah, didn't like he did.
Brand's beyond materialism. He doesn't care about that.
Brand don't care about nothing. John Liff, he was like, all right, bro.
Yeah, a king doesn't care about anything. Great. Continue.
Javar, did you like the fact that Bran gets to sit on the Iron Throne now? And did that just surprise you at all?
It did surprise me. So a couple things. So one, George R.R. Martin supposedly gave the D&Ds like an outline of how things were supposed to end. So
right.
I don't know if we can assume this is, George's plan was to have Bran be the king and Dany go Mad Queen. I think, those were two kind of big deals that probably were coming from the writer, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if that's like a shock value thing, but what I'm disappointed in is that they just completely dropped the ball on any kind of Three-Eyed Raven explanations or any kind of like more background and lore on that. Like they just didn't know what to do with Three-Eyed Raven. They didn't know what to do with Bran. So they were just like, okay, this works out. So maybe they didn't get that from George. Maybe they just tried to come up with something to make him useful because he's been useless this entire season.
I agree.
Yeah. Bran's storyline and the Night King storyline that killed me, but that's for another pod. I don't want to complain about that anymore.
I think it's trying to save all that history for the prequels. I think it's trying to, like, you know what I'm saying? It's trying to fill it in for the prequels and give us something to look forward to, which that's poor storytelling. You should just wrap it up and tell me how it is. But, I sound really pessimistic on this pod. I'm sorry. I love Game of Thrones with all my heart. That's why it hurts me so bad. The finale was just so underwhelming, but I really do love Game of Thrones.
How about that whole scene, though, like with them setting up to pick Bran, like, the one guy standing up and trying to have this
like, please have a seat.
Please have a seat. And then Sam gets up and he's like, hey, let's have, let everybody vote. And there's this long silence. And I'm thinking in my head, like, maybe that's the answer. Yeah. Maybe they're going to, like, have a democracy and everybody just laughs it off.
Yeah. I thought that's the direction they were going, actually. But so that was like a little joke they put on us right there. But that was the dude who stood up. That was Catelyn Stark's brother. They never really showed what happened to him after he got captured by the Freys after the Red Wedding. Remember, he was the one who was getting married at the Red Wedding.
I can't even remember him, to be honest.
Yeah, well, and he played he played a role in season 6 too with Ramsay, I believe. He for some reason there's a memory of him coming back, and I think he helped his dad surrender River Run or one of the other Harrenhal, one of them castles. He helped his dad do it. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, he's irrelevant. Like, and the fact that he had the balls to stand up, like, he was like, bro, like, what?
Sit down.
Yeah, sit your ass down.
It was cool seeing Titty Boy, though, grow up.
Titty Boy?
Yeah.
All right. I'm sorry.
What y'all think about, like,
Robin
Sansa was just nah, we ain't, you my brother, but we don't care about this kingdom. Like, we being sovereign nation.
Jake, go ahead.
Like, it's almost like she's power hungry in a sense. Like, she was just so stuck on this.
Yeah.
Who are we talking about?
Sansa.
How
she decided to be.
I feel that, but at the same time, like, I feel like she cleaned it up too. Like, in her response was saying, like, the North will be an independent nation as it was for 1,000 years. Like, just tradition, tradition of the family, and it's kind of like a win-win for them because it's like you got a Stark on the Westeros on the Iron Throne. Well, there is no Iron Throne, but ruling the 7 kingdoms and then
Iron wheelchair.
6 kingdoms.
Well, 6 kingdoms now.
Yeah.
I mean, I find it hard to believe the other lords were just like, okay, yeah, sure. Well,
you get your own space and we'll just give her.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, that was interesting, and I agree with you, Monty. I think Sansa is becoming a little too littlefingery. Like she's
taking the best.
She's picked up a little bit from everybody.
Everybody. Like
she's plotting. So
she's so manipulative, and then like people just seem to like see past that for some reason. But
because of Sansa, because of everything that she's been through, and
whatever,
blah blah blah.
But it was probably her idea to send Jon to the Night's Watch. I don't remember who that they said whose idea that was, but it sounded like something she would do to get him out the way.
Did y'all catch? There was a scene towards the end when Jon was about to go to the Night's Watch and he was talking to Tyrion. Tyrion said something about "ask me in 10 years."
Mm-hmm.
I think they're going to do another series? I really think they are.
I don't.
You don't think so?
I don't know, because these actors have been doing it since 2009. Like, I think
Yeah,
that's
I think
that's partially why, you know, this season was rushed and everything, because it's like, okay, like, we're ready to do something else,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, I don't
Because
see that,
you know, I know Benioff and Weiss, you know, they're about to do Star Wars in 2022.
They're
And
doing
then
a whole new trilogy, right?
yeah, and then I know the actors. I'm sure they're ready to move on to bigger roles too, and want to maybe be known as something else other than, you know, these Game of Thrones characters.
Yeah, that's not
particularly
gonna
like Kit Harington. He's pretty much came out on record. He's been saying
Oh,
it for
yeah.
years that he's been tired of,
Jon
being stuck
Snow.
being Jon Snow. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's the gift and the curse of playing an iconic character. So,
Yeah.
sorry, buddy.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, I mean, John going to the Night's Watch. It was kind of, I guess if I'm nitpicking, this was the one thing where I was just like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Like the Night's Watch. Like, first of all, and even John said it, like, there's still a Night's Watch. Like, what? Why are they?
Right.
Why are they still even
What's
a
the
thing
point?
at this point? Yeah, like they're not
Yeah.
protecting anybody from wildlings or the White Walkers. So why do they exist? Whatever.
Like, do they think like the Night King's just gonna like randomly come back?
I thought.
or something in
No,
another
but if you heard-
1,000 years.
If you heard Tyrion, he said it's just a place for broken men and bastards. So it's just a place for people who feel like they have no place in the world to go and feel like they're a part of something. That's what Tyrion said. I got that implication from it.
Well, John really he went with the free folk, right? Like,
I
because
say,
they
can we
went
infer
beyond
that
the
he's
wall.
not coming back?
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Sound like
Yeah,
he just
'cause-
rode off to the sunset with the free folk. He said, "Screw this Night Watch."
Yeah.
Yeah, I want some. Never mind.
Right.
I'm gonna have me some sun. One way. And yeah, so I mean, it seemed like pretty much everybody was going their separate ways. Like Arya decides that she wants to explore the world, and you know,
I thought
wants
she was
to
gonna
find
go with
what's-
her man.
Gendry.
Yeah, I thought. Yeah, when they're like, "Where will you go?" I thought she was gonna be like, I don't know, and he was just gonna be standing over there like, "Hey."
That's,
Yeah.
They left the opportunity there. They should have had a scene with her and Gendry.
Yeah,
Yeah, because they were all sitting together. Yeah.
it seems like they just don't care about love. And I was kind of mad how they treated Brienne. Like she had like one line, but I guess she had a scene at the end where she was writing in Jaime's stuff.
Yeah.
But it just made her seem like she was just sprung. And I mean,
Can't let him go.
yeah, like come on, bro.
She's so much more
Her
than that.
story's over though. Her story been over.
I mean, yeah, I mean, her story came full circle. I agree, but I wanted more from Brienne. I mean, she was so awesome. She was one of my favorite characters in the series. But
My man Sam got that upgrade.
I know,
Grandmeister.
Grand Maester. That was really cool.
I didn't even know he got his change yet.
he wrote the book A Song of Fire and Ice, or Ice and Fire, whatever the hell. Which one is it called? Ice and Fire, or Fire and Ice.
I think it was Ice and Fire.
Yeah, they tried to throw that in there. I thought that was pretty cool.
Left Tyrion out. That was messed up.
Well, I mean, he betrayed so many people. I guess they kind of had to make it a good story. Maybe, I don't know.
It's
He
because
could almost like
Yeah,
narrate
I
the
was
story.
thinking because he's him. I think that was the thing.
You said what, Monty?
Because what Jake said, because he's an imp, they don't feel like they're important people. Like,
That's awful.
It is awful.
He's the hand of the king, but okay. I thought that was funny too. How Tyrion's like, all right, well, I'm about to go. Like, no. Bran's like, you're gonna be the hand of the king. Actually, you're not going anywhere.
Yeah,
buddy.
I like that line too though, because he was like, "I don't want to be king, and you don't want to be anything." So.
Yeah, John. You know, but before he leaves, he gets to finally reunite with Ghost with the best, goodest boy. It needed to happen. Monty, don't you dare run your eyes. It needed to happen.
Yep.
Poor Ghost had his ear blown off, and he didn't get no love. So yeah, shout out to Ghost, and yeah, I just wanted to say that. Sorry.
I knew Twitter was on fire when that happened.
Right.
Yeah.
So
What a few good things.
yeah, right. Yeah. Final few questions for you guys. So, I mean, it's over. You know, the series is over. This is all we're gonna get from these set of characters and these set of episodes. I mean, sure, there's 3 prequels coming.
Yeah.
3?
I don't know why
thought it
there's
was
so
2.
many.
Is it 3?
I've heard the same thing.
Oh,
There's
wow.
3 different ones. Apparently, there's supposed to be one that's supposed to launch next year already.
Wow.
Do you know what any of these prequels are gonna be about, Javar?
No, they haven't really released a lot of information on them yet.
Oh, okay. But yeah, so I mean, at this point, there's nothing in the future. I mean, this is it. This is the Game of Thrones series. So, Jake, I'll start with you. After seeing everything that you've seen in this season, what are your overall impressions of the series?
I'm really impressed. I'm really impressed with the series, but I will say that if 5 years passes from now and there's like nothing else that's of the same substance that's just as good as Game of Thrones, it comes from the same era, same place, then I might end up being a little bit disappointed in the ending. But I think that's what gave overall more meaning to me enjoying it, was just like, okay, well, there's still more to come that might give this even more meaning to it, you know. But overall, it was a great series. I got into it late, like after season 7, the finale to season 7 came out. It was like the following week I started watching it. But I binged it, but I didn't go crazy like 4 episodes a day or anything.
Yeah.
I just let it roll for probably 3 or 4 months is how long it took me to watch it. But I watched the whole thing, and for me it was really good. But I kind of wish that I would have had this experience like watching it from 2009 to now.
Yeah.
But it's definitely a body of work that I'm gonna buy like the full box set on Blu-ray just to have. Like I'll definitely revisit it. I think it's definitely one of the best shows to ever air on television.
Wow. Okay. What about you, Monty? How do you feel about the series as a whole?
Yeah, I agree with Jake. It's, in my opinion, it is the best, epic to ever.
Even now.
Yes, but see, I think seasons 1 through 7 are perfect, and it just hurts that season 8. I mean, it's definitely a drop off in my opinion, and so I would still recommend the series to anybody and everybody who I think can handle it. You know what that means. But it kind of hurts that it's not perfect to me, because season 8 really just threw me for a loop. I think that's. I was talking to you earlier. Like, I started seeing a decline, even though I love season 7 and season 7. I think that's because of the lack of George R.R. Martin's direct involvement. Yeah, because the books weren't written yet and stuff like that. So love the series. It's my favorite series of all time. But season 8 did disappoint me, but I still love the series. Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Javar?
Pretty much echo exactly Mondy's thoughts. Yeah, I mean, it was so ambitious, man. When you really sit back and think, like, what they did on TV is like, it's changed the game, And
it's like the most expensive show ever, right?
Probably.
Yeah, by far. Like, it's got movie budget type. It's a big deal, and I think it's gonna be one of those things that, like, we're just going to look back on in history, like Lord of the Rings and like Harry Potter, just one of those big fantasy epics that is just going to really leave its mark. I mean, despite how a lot of us are disappointed with season 8, it's still not bad, right? I mean, if the entire rest of the series has been 9s and 10s, season 8, I'll give it 7, 7.5, 8. It's not terrible. It's just not quite as high quality story, right? Isn't that what we're pretty much thinking?
Sure.
No, you think worse?
Well, so I mean, it's different for me because like Jake, I mean, I binged the series in 2 months. So I mean, I haven't been with this series for years. Like, if I'll say this, I've been watching The Walking Dead since 2010 when it first aired. So if The Walking Dead dared to end like this, I'd be pissed. I would be pissed, 100% pissed.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's hard to really. I don't want to say care. That's the wrong word. But I mean, the series is fine. Like, I really enjoy the series. Like Monty, like you said, like I would recommend the series to anyone. But it's not perfect. And I mean,
we hear the high standards to ask of any show.
True. It's really like, how satisfied can you be with something like this, that this epic and has taken this long to come out? Because I was thinking about this like while watching it when it was wrapping up, was just that. It's like, it's one of those stories where it's like you almost wish that they didn't tell you everything, because it's like if you watched like season 1 through like 4 and made that into like some sort of movie, it's like everybody would want more, but it's like the sequel to that might not be very good, you know?
Yeah.
So it's just like you get what you ask for almost, and I don't want to be one of those guys that's like, oh, well, deal with it or whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't think that they had much room to go anywhere else without playing super fan service, and it's just like, oh, well, everybody just had this super sweet happy ending,
Yeah.
So, but at the same time, I don't think that anybody faced any turmoil that they didn't deserve,
Besides Cersei.
But,
yeah. No, I mean, I agree with that. Yeah, I agree with that to an extent. But yeah, I mean, I'm trying.
Speak of the truth.
No, I mean, because like for me, like there's 2 shows. Well, let me say this. So the first 7 seasons of Game of Thrones, like I was extremely impressed. Like I have not been impressed with a show like that since The Walking Dead. I'm a huge Walking Dead fan.
Can you stop comparing The Walking Dead to Game of Thrones? Like Walking Dead is good, it's cool, but
I'm sorry, The Walking Dead is better.
It's not comparable.
anyway, yes it is.
Like,
in my opinion,
you said like Breaking Bad.
I heard it's
like
gotten
you're
better.
asking
I heard it's
Breaking
gotten
Bad was
better. I
not
haven't
that great.
watched in a while.
Anyway,
Breaking Bad.
This is my opinion.
Okay,
Thank you very much.
You're right,
Thank you. All right. So anyway, as I was saying, damn. I thought the first 7 seasons of Game of Thrones was damn near perfect. Like I loved it that much. And this is coming from the guy
You
who
couldn't have though because you
who
stopped
didn't
watching after
watch
season 3.
well because of that one episode. Yeah. Anyway,
Whatever.
like I said, anyway,
Javar, come on, call him out, Javar.
Anyway, the
Controversial.
first 2 episodes of season 8, I thought were really good. I thought they were really good, and then 3, 4, and 5, I was just like, okay. But I enjoyed this last one. But overall, I still think it's a great series.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think that it's the greatest of all time. But
What is the greatest series of all time, in your opinion?
in my opinion, The Walking Dead. But that's because I've been watching The Walking Dead for
So is Empire.
for so long.
I don't
Can
put
you
it at my
stop?
number one. I think it's one of the greatest, but I don't put it as my number one.
What's yours? Just curious. What's yours?
Number one,
Breaking Bad.
No, honestly,
Oh, okay.
it's probably going to be between The Wire and Sopranos.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can't argue that.
Those are good shows.
But,
Yeah.
My Game of Thrones is still mine. How about yours, Javar?
Yeah,
Just curious.
I got Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
As a
same.
show.
Um,
It's either Game of Thrones or Breaking Bad for me.
Yeah. I think Breaking Bad is the second.
Okay. Well, Breaking Bad wasn't that great. Anyway, so look, last question for you guys, and I'll end the pod here. But give me your favorite moment from Game of Thrones. It's been 8 seasons. It's finally over. So give me your favorite moment. Mondy, I'll start with you.
Okay, earlier we were talking about it, but it has to be the whole door episode. Like,
Okay. Yeah.
Like that moment. Like if you've seen it, you know the moment.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Like that blew my mind.
Yeah. Most definitely. What about you, Jake?
Oh man, I feel like I'm gonna be mad at like my choice no matter what I pick because it's gonna be like I can think of something better. But really, just like I'm gonna go for a controversial one. It's really like I stood up and felt like Kobe just hit a game winner when Arya killed the Night King.
Okay.
Like
Wow. Okay.
I don't know. Like
Okay.
I literally stood up. I was like, "Let's go!" Like all that.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know. Talking about subverting expectations. Like
Mhm.
I didn't see her doing it, and it was it was overwhelming.
That's cool. Never wrote that. What about you, Javar?
My favorite moment is
Yep.
probably that, which is you, and you'll know because I keep trying to show it to you and Mom when I was trying to get y'all on to watch it. Was that Loot Train episode?
Yeah.
Or the Loot Train sequence, because that was the first time we really saw the power of Drogon dragons on the battlefield.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Like that. I remember that hitting me in my chest. Me showing my dad that, like saying, "You need to watch this show just for the music." Like when Drogon first flies over the hill.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that was probably my favorite part.
Okay.
I still get chills when I watch that actually. That the Dothraki coming out, they stand on their horses, and then all of a sudden Daenerys come out with Drogon, and they're just like, oh hell.
Yeah.
What about you, Julian? What was your favorite?
So Monty said it like the door was like I think that was the most shocked I've been in this show.
Yeah.
But my favorite was probably Hard Home. That entire episode was just crazy from start to finish.
Which moment though, when the Night King rose the dead?
No, that was surprising. But the moment for me was when John killed the White Walker,
Okay.
like with his sword.
Oh,
Like
the
'cause
sword.
I was
It
like,
shattered.
yeah, I was like, how did that happen?
Yeah,
Like, I was like, what
yeah.
the hell? And then the Night King and the John stare down, like when he was leaving, and
Yeah.
I was like, okay, let's get it.
Yeah.
It's lit. Yeah, sorry.
So
I got
favorite
excited.
moment is different from most shocking. So that's a whole other question. Can I ask that to y'all? What is the most shocking part? For me, it was when Oberyn got his melon busted.
Oh man, that was crazy.
My jaw was on the ground for like a good 30 minutes. I could not believe it. I was just like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it has to be the Red Wedding. Like,
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
for me, like,
I was gonna say.
I was like,
no shocker there.
yeah. Like that was crazy.
Yeah, that episode, you guys had told me about, but of course I didn't know what it was about, and that was absolutely shocking.
Okay, maybe I should have said other than the red wedding.
I still wish Rob was still around too. I like him as a
I
character.
love Rob.
Yeah, I love him.
Yeah.
I liked him.
He was
One
awesome.
of my favorite early characters. For
His wife
sure.
was bad too.
Well, still, I mean, even though it's like it was dragged out to you, it's not like it happened really fast. I was in disbelief that they were going to kill Ned in season 1.
That's true.
Really?
In season
Okay.
1, like that whole 10-minute build up to him getting his head cut off, even though it's like they're telling you it's about to happen.
Yeah.
He's waiting for something to happen. Right?
Yeah, I was just waiting. No way. Like
Batarang.
Yeah, like,
Something.
it's not going to happen.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. I don't know. Shocking. I'm at a loss, guys. I mean, I kind of said mine.
Yeah.
I don't know. Shocking to me was, like I said, when John killed the White Walker finally. I was like, what the hell? Like, what just happened?
Are y'all disappointed that the Night King never had a line of dialogue?
Yes. Oh, line of dialogue. Sorry.
No,
I was fine with that.
Yeah.
But I wish he had a fight scene though.
I was disappointed how he went out.
Yeah.
Like I needed John and the Night King to have something, and they just didn't.
They had
Especially
something.
because of
They
that
had a
stare
little dragon
down.
chase.
No, they need
Okay.
to have some type of confrontation. Like,
Okay.
like that stare down meant so much to me, and like it was Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader. Like that's what it meant to me, and it just never
I guess
happened.
they had a dragon fight, but that don't, you
No,
couldn't
that
see
is-
what was happening.
No, I wanted hands.
Okay, look, it's about to get real toxic, but who's the baddest on the show?
Talisa.
Danny.
Masande.
Masande, there you go. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, people.
All great choices, top 3.
Yeah, sorry. Talisa was gorgeous.
Who you say, Julian? I can't hear you.
Talisa?
Rob's wife.
Yeah, Rob's wife, Talisa.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what's funny? Avi's upstairs. She's watching. I think she's watching season 3, episode 8 right now.
Okay, so it's about to get to the right
Yeah,
way.
it's about to get real. So I
If
want
you hear her scream, then you know she saw it.
You got to record. You got to record a reaction. I got to see this.
I will. But all right, guys. Thank you so much for being on the pod. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for
Hold on,
having
man. Hold on. We got to do an ode to this show. I'm gonna miss this show, y'all. I'm disappointed in how it ended. I'm sad
I'm miss
now.
the
It's just
community,
the
all
sadness
that.
is overcoming me.
Yeah, I
What
agree,
am I gonna
Javar.
do on my Sundays at 9? Like, we should have more episodes this season for one, but yeah.
It knows not to come on during this time. It knows. It
Well,
knows that.
it's been a good 10 years pretty much watching this show. I mean, it's sad. But, yeah.
Doing a documentary next week.
Have you watched it since 2009?
No, I
or
started after like season 2.
after season.
I started in 2010.
See, y'all have a different relationship
Yeah.
with it than we do. So
Yeah.
y'all owe it a little bit more of a homage, you know.
Season 3. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's why
the-
we're kind of like just so salty about how it ended because we were so invested.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel you, but yeah, I mean, it's still like I said, I liked it. I'm sorry that you guys didn't particularly enjoy it, but both of y'all still think it's the greatest show of all time, right? So
yeah.
it couldn't have been that damn bad. If they,
Because it was almost perfect. It was just.
Well, maybe for y'all's headcanon, y'all can just like watch season 1 through 7 and just leave it up to
Nah, I can't do that.
Just
Hey,
chop-
and look,
optimism.
we still got 2 more books, and the books are going to end up being a lot different from the show. It's just going to like you figure he might change the whole ending. Like,
yeah,
Maybe that petition will come through. Just kidding. That'll never work.
Yeah, that's like that.
I encourage y'all to read the books as well. I'm only on the second book myself, but
I don't read either, but I'll audiobook it.
Only comics, bro.
wow, that's
Graphic novels. I
It
know.
makes us sound
I'm toxic.
uneducated. We don't
yes,
read.
that's very toxic, bro.
Hey,
Read your books, kids. Okay, Joe.
Yeah,
Somebody. Damn. All right, y'all. Thank you, man. Thank you. All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode of the Current Era Podcast. Thank you to Jacob, Mandala, and my brother Javar for being on the pod. I really love getting different guests on here so I can get everybody's interpretation and the way they think, especially about a series like Game of Thrones, which has so many different lenses that you can look through. So thank you again, guys, for coming on. Remember to follow Jake on Instagram and Twitter at Jake the Snake. That's Jake DUH Snake. Yeah, I don't know why he spells like that, but he does. And he does do videography and video shoots, so look for him, Jake Byers Visuals. He's really awesome at it, so he'll definitely do business with you. And thank you again, Mondy and Javar. You guys are always great. Thanks for always being guests on the pod. For any new listeners, please remember to subscribe to the podcast. Those episodes will download automatically. I release new episodes every Monday and Friday. And yeah, thank you so much, guys, for listening. Thank you for all my listeners around the world. I have so many listeners. I really appreciate every single one of you. And I will see you on Friday.